Hi everyone, thank you for joining. I think there's quite a lot of us on the call now, so I think I'll jump straight in if that's okay with everyone. So again, hello to everyone.
Our trainees, thank you. Over to you, Joel.
Sorry, there's a few more people waiting to join.
All right, thank you, Boss. So you can take time to think through the project.
Yeah.
Your brain or our brains have been activated. So
I don't
what
think
you
anyone.
listen to our brains.
What they call it, dengue fever or what? What is the
Hi everyone. If you could kindly pop yourselves on mute, please. Hi everyone, sorry, we can start the call now. So welcome to the kickoff meeting for the Innovative Manufacturing in Africa 2024 project by Distributed Manufacturing Kenya. I'm going to jump straight in. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, just wanted to give a quick refresher note on the data privacy and protection. So any research in scope with the IMA project will be conducted in compliance with GDPR and privacy laws and regulations as applicable by region. So the agenda for today's call will be a welcome, and then we'll jump into some introductions, and then I'll give a project overview, and then I'll talk about the capacity building packages and the several opportunities you have to apply to, and then we'll jump into the timeline and check-in schedules for the community calls, and then the kind of communication channels, and then if we have any questions, just answer those at the end. Okay. So the IMA project will run over the next 6 months, so until December, and the project will be supporting the research and innovation in the hardware maker and innovation system, ecosystem and its research capacity in Kenya, Ghana, South Africa, and now also Nigeria, with partners to grow the evidence base. So in terms of the team that will be working and collaborating on this project, so the donors are RISA, who's the Research and Innovation Systems for Africa. This will be hosted by Commonwealth and the UKAID and FCDO, so the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office and UK government. This will also be match funded. There'll be match funding provided by the MAKE project. And the partners we'll be working with will be Distributed Manufacturing Limited in Kenya, Adam Smith International from Nigeria, Internet of Production in the UK, the African Maker Space Network in Ghana, Manufacturing Change in the UK, and a host of experts and mentors for the packages that we'll be opening out. So the IMA project 2024 will be working with the following makerspaces. So it will be Design and Technology Institute, Kumasi Hive and Triple Dimension, all based in Ghana, Fab Lab Winam, Gearbox, Iomi 254 in Kenya, Flat Rock Studio, the Makerspace, and TMG Makerspace in South Africa. And then we will also be collaborating with Adam Smith International, as I just mentioned, based in Nigeria, with their RISA project, which is the knowledge exchange and cascaded commercialization. So welcome. So without further ado, if I can please request for each makerspace to give a quick introduction to yourselves and maybe share any recent news from your makerspace, whether this is a win or a blocker, just so it can help us all understand any kind of challenges you may have at the moment. So if we could please start with Design and Technology Institute, please. Okay, so we'll move on to Kumasi Hive. If you could please introduce yourself, that would be great.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Dawood, and I'm a rep from Kumasi Hive Makerspace here.
Big wins.
Do you have any big wins or any blockers or anything that you'd like to share with everyone?
Exactly. One of the big wins is I saw you in your presentation. You just presented a picture there. I was the one in there working on a ventilator during COVID-19. We work on the makers assembly, where makers assemble to come up with PPEs for COVID-19. So I'll say that is one win for us here at Kumasi Hive.
Amazing. Thank you. So I'll move on to Triple Dimension. If someone can please give an introduction, that'd be great.
Michael, you go to Martin. In Fab Lab Winam.
Okay, no worries. We'll just jump over to Fab Lab Winam. Martin, are you on the call, please?
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for joining today. I'm Martin Olo, representing Fab Lab Winam. Yeah, just that for now. Thank you.
Sorry, Martin, did you have any kind of big wins that you'd like to share with us? Okay, I'll move on to Gearbox then. Do we have anyone from Gearbox?
Sorry, I don't know if it is your internet because I can't hear you. I think it's breaking a lot. So let me use another option, then I'll get back.
No problem. Whilst we're waiting for Martin, if we move on to Gearbox, is there anyone that would like to introduce Gearbox, please?
Yes, hello. My name is Kamau Gashiri. I run Gearbox. I founded it in 2014 here in Nairobi. And we're basically a maker space or a product realization space in Nairobi. This is our second year with RISA. So shout out to everybody who's there, who is familiar with us, and happy to be here. I don't know whether that suffices.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have any wins you'd like to share with the group?
Well, we're going through quite a bit of a change. We've basically moved our premises from the industrial area in Nairobi to the University of Nairobi. And so we're now back where pretty much we began with the Fab Lab at University of Nairobi, and later on a maker space that I set up while I was still at the university. And we've just moved our stuff back there, but as a tenant. So we're not part of the university, but we are located there. And so it's a new sort of situation for us, which we're quite excited about. And we're on what we call the Kabete campus. For those who are familiar with Nairobi, I don't know whether Dennis is out there. Dennis from Lamu, well, from the Fab Lab in Lamu, Makerspace in Lamu rather. But yeah, so that's a new development for us, and we're also quite active with the UNDP Timbuktu project, which is now in 13 countries. We designed the makerspace for those countries, and we're hoping that it's going to grow even further. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you for the update. That's really interesting. Okay, great. If we move on to IOME 254, is there anyone that can please give an introduction?
We don't have flat-rocks as a makerspace in South Africa.
Okay, we'll move on to the makerspace in South Africa. If you could go next, that would be fab. Okay, so if we could move on to TMG Makerspace. Do we have a representative from TMG Makerspace that can give an introduction, please?
Yes, we do. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nelson Sohota. I'm from TMG Makerspace. It's really good to be back in the program. This is also our second year. We are based in Braamfontein, Johannesburg. We are supporting makers, we are supporting innovators. We have been associated with the university, Wits University. We've been operating, in Braamfontein, where the university is, since 2018. Recently, we have opened our second location, just further, we're still in the city, but further away from the university. We are busy setting that up. We should be launching it. I mean, there are people working there now, but the official launch will be beginning of August, something that we are very excited about. But also we have recently partnered with another institution owned by government. They own about 10 makerspaces across the province that we are operating in, and they do need a lot of assistance, obviously, with getting those spaces working and serving the communities that were built for. We are fundraising for some of the spaces they've committed to in the beginning. So we are currently fundraising for those 2 spaces. And we hope they will also open very soon and we can be serving the innovators where they are. But it is good to be back. Thanks for everyone who's making this program possible.
Okay, great. That sounds super exciting. Thank you for sharing that. I'm just going to go back to Flat Rock Studio. I believe Felix is on the call. If you could please give an introduction and again, any win that you may have to share with us, please.
Hi, sorry, I'm just on the run. Can you hear me? Can you hear me there?
Yep, sorry, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, we took part in the project last year as well, previous round. We used to run quite a big makerspace in Cape Town, and we will be taking part as well again. We would probably also be doing a lot of consulting and advising Flo in the next round.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm just, before we move on, Martin, are you back on the call?
Yes. And thank you once again. I'm happy to meet all of you once again and happy to meet my senior, Dr. Kamau. Of course, Fab Lab started from Gearbox. So we are happy that we are in this together. So Fab Lab Winam has been, currently we are running a government program, which is funded by funded by World Bank called Tech Scale Bootcamp. And of course, in the past period, with the kind of capacity building which was done to us, we've been able to win various partnerships, as well as strengthen some of the areas, including policy issues. And I can attribute this to IMA 1 because due diligence with the government was very thorough, and because of the pressure we had previous year, that is why we were able to win this tender to run this. So technically, that's what I can say. Right now, we have 60 students undergoing three months tech bootcamp, and it's a big win for us. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And in terms of Adam Smith International, I know we have a few of our colleagues from ASI. If you could please give you an introduction, that would be great too.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Dr. Tese Nyulaku. I am the team lead for the RISA Knowledge Exchange and Cascaded Commercialization projects implemented by Adam Smith International in Nigeria. We're working with local fabricators and processors. We have been working over the last 2 years through the life cycle of the RISA project, and we're working in Lagos, which is in southern Nigeria, and Kano in northern Nigeria, with various local fabricators and local processors of agricultural commodity on innovative ways to better their production, and also to make better their opportunities to scale into mass production and commercialization. And it is exciting to have this collaboration with distributed manufacturing on this project, and we look forward to doing a lot more together, because certainly two project ideas interface very nicely. And I believe very strongly that it would be the fundamental defining moment for the RISA project impact across Africa, and look forward to the beautiful things that we will do together. Thank you very much, Vanessa. Over to you.
That's great. Thank you so much, Tasir. I've just seen Michael join. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. Hello, am I being heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I joined in a very bad place, so unfortunately, I'm able to only talk now. I'll be showing my video for the next meeting. My name is Michael Dankwa. I'm the Makerspace coordinator for the Design and Technology Institute. I was part of the team for last year's program with distributed manufacturing, where we participated in the production of some tools for like assistive technology. And I think somewhere, was it last week, I met with Andrew and a couple of other people in the network to talk about this year's program, and just briefly, and what it will entail. And I look forward to being part of this and working through this. Last year was very interactive. I think the impact that it had with the distributor manufacturing, like the the agencies that we were able to reach out to with the tools that we produced through 3D printing were very impactful, and that was shared in our reports. And I look forward to such like a similar impact being made around this year around. So thanks for giving DTI and myself the opportunity to work again with you this time around. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Michael. Okay, so I'll move on to giving a project overview. So the Innovative Manufacturing in Africa project 2024 aims to bring more financial stability to makerspaces, as well as build ecosystem solutions that can support the makerspaces. So last year's project focused on research capacity building to the makerspaces, experimented with innovative infrastructures and impact indicators and business models. For this project, the focus will be on targeted capacity building packages, development of innovative infrastructures, and ecosystem development. So this time around, there's again a lot of deliverables for the 4 project objectives, which are build on demonstrated successes of current projects, have a clear trajectory of ecosystem level impact, demonstrate sustainability beyond the RISA fund support, and produce learnings about what's worked. And highlighted are the other packages that we'll be focusing on in this course. So I'll go on to get into some more detail around that. So there'll be 7 opportunities for you and your teams to apply to, and then we'll get into the detail of kind of each package and how to apply for these opportunities. So firstly, there will be a package on market dialogues, theory and practice. And I'll give a quick overview of this. So the project will be providing training, content and webinars on market dialogues for the makerspaces. There will be a range of specialist trainers to support on specific topics within this area. There will also be an action for makerspaces to connect with local markets by sector, and also to actually go out and do a market dialogue, with a requirement to produce a written report of recommendations on growth for themselves and their members, as well as case studies and mentoring. So it'll be $2,000 per makerspace. And the lead for this package will be Anna, who I believe is also on the call. If Anna, if you'd like to introduce yourself and add anything to the overview of this package, that would be great.
Thanks very much, Benita. Yeah, I think I know most of you on the call, but just briefly, yeah, I'm a director of distributed manufacturing. I'm based in the UK. My own organisation is called Manufacturing Change, and I work a lot on business models for small scale manufacturing and for makerspaces. So this unit is going to be focused on providing the makerspaces who want to do it with a framework to think through who some of their stakeholders in the ecosystem are in the market, and go out and have an event or a series of conversations with those stakeholders. So just as an example, it might be that if you're a makerspace that's looking into getting into production of some medical devices, that we would encourage you to have a market dialogue that involved perhaps a medical regulator, representatives from your national standards body, some of the local hospitals, these type of stakeholders, or it could be something completely different. It could be that you're wanting to get more into training, and that it would be good for you to have a dialogue with people who need training, people who are providing training, government bodies that are involved in commissioning training packages, this sort of thing. So it's about getting out, connecting with stakeholders in the market, and using that information to support your growth as an organisation. And I'll be happy to answer any more detailed questions about it. Thanks.
Thank you, Anna. Did we have any questions around this package? Okay, I'll move on. And again, we've got some time allocated at the end of the call for any questions. So if you think
Sandra, the magnets.
Sorry, was that a question? Okay, no worries. Okay, so moving on to the business model into action. So this is another package. So again, Anna and Gertrude will be leading on this package. So what will be included will be one-to-one mentoring sessions that will be offered. And the package will seek to assist makerspaces in answering key questions about how to raise finance. And this will be defined by blueprint on the localeconomies.org website. And again, this will be $2,000 per makerspace.
Can I just clarify? The focus on this one will be about new revenue streams or new business models for a makerspace, and that's why it's going to be done on a one-to-one basis, because it'll be defined around what each makerspace needs. So this will be building on the work that we did in terms of it. We interviewed many of you for the Open Catalogue of Business Models last year. The Open Catalogue of Business Models is available online. It'll be using some of those models, but encouraging you to try out alternatives, either different models or different revenue streams for the same models that you're already working on, things like that. Thanks.
Great, thanks, Anna. Gertrude's on the call. If you'd like to give a quick introduction, that would be really helpful.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Gertrude Marinago, based in Ghana, an expert of manufacturing change. And over the past 4 years, my work has been focused on research and project management in the local innovation ecosystem, with specific focus on maker spaces in Africa. And I'm happy to be here and to work with all of you on this project, and I look forward to it. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you so much, Gertrude. Okay, so the third package is around fundraising and tendering. So the leads on this package will be Andrew and Felix. So Andrew is the IMA project lead, and Felix is the director of Flat Rock Studio. So for this package, training, mentoring, and direct assistance on grant writing will be provided by Andrew, and again, the same will be provided from Felix for tendering. And there will also be a recap of the pricing workshop webinar from last year's project. And there will also be an opportunity for direct mentoring on reviewing bids for makerspaces. So this is also a $2,000 per makerspace for this package. If I could hand over to Andrew to give a quick introduction and add on to any further detail for the package, that'd be great.
If you move, I'll use this one. Hi, can you hear me? I hope so. There's a bit of an echo here. Maybe you need to, let's get rid of that. Let's see if that works. No. Benita and I are in the same room and we were trying to be clever about it. And I've been trying to help with Zoom to get this call going. So if you've heard me wittering away in the background, I'm sorry about that. I'm delighted to see you all again, and I'm very grateful to Benita for taking on the role of project manager for this year. On the fundraising and tendering package, you will get support from me on the grant writing and fundraising side, and from Felix on learning from some of his experience on writing a tender, on pricing work, hopefully, building on the pricing workshop that we ran last year, so that we can have, more than just sort of like, if you're doing 3D printing, you don't just price per gram, you can do something that's more based on the market. So it relates to the market dialogue, conversations, the capacity building that we're offering in the first package. But basically, what's going to happen here is that we will be supporting you with a transfer of $2,000, as we will with all of the packages, so that we can spend some time together to basically look at fundraising bids, either opportunities that you have that you're working on, and it could be more a mentoring approach, or to start off with, I might be running some training by using some examples from bids that I've written, such as this Innovative Manufacturing in Africa project bid, and giving you some advice and some of my experience and how you do these things. Or it could be that's more direct assistance. So it could, we'll come on to a little bit of that later, but maybe collaboratively we can find a way that we could do some fundraising together across the different makerspaces. So if there's a particular opportunity, say in South Africa, that all of the participating makerspaces in this project want to go for, maybe we can help with that. But yeah, it's going to be a combination of looking at existing work, advice on bids that you might be working on, and then a little bit of mentoring thrown in there as well. And I'm quite excited about this particular module because it's not often that you will get paid $2,000 to help you fundraise. So hopefully it is an opportunity for you to use this money to really clear some space in your diary and to concentrate on figuring out how to fundraise better, and potentially even getting some bids in. So this is quite a special opportunity to use some money that we're paying you to make some space in your diary to do some bid writing and to do some tendering. I'm very excited about it. I could talk for a long time, but maybe I should hand back to you. And I know Felix is doing an installation today, so we've heard from him a little bit, but I think maybe we go on to the next package.
Sure. Right, that's great. Thank you so much, Andrew. Right, moving on to the fourth package, which is gender equality and social inclusion. So this package will support makerspaces to really reflect and improve their gender equality and inclusivity practices, using toolkits and materials created by the Critical Making Programme. Also supporting makerspace managers to address these challenges with a real focus on the gender challenge. In exchange for the funds, there will be a task for each participating makerspace to complete. And again, drawing from the experienced mentors from the innovation hubs across kind of Kenya, South Africa, and Ghana, will really kind of contribute to this package. Again, there's a $2,000 per makerspace initiative for this. However, there are only 6 available kind of spaces. So I would suggest really getting your applications in quickly for this one. And in terms of the lead, so we have Kiara that will be leading on this. Unfortunately, Kiara was unable to join the call today, but I can give you a bit of background on Kiara. So Kiara has a background in industrial design where she developed a focus on making integrating principles of gender equality and social inclusion into her academic and professional pursuits. She completed her honours and master's degree in South Africa, where she took the role of Fab Lab and university tutor at the University of Johannesburg. So that's a quick kind of snapshot on behalf of, or introduction, if you like, on behalf of Kiara. And there'll be some details around kind of what her workshop sessions will look like in the application form. So I'll get into that shortly. And then the next package is additive manufacturing. So this package will propose to collaborate with ASI, which is Adam Smith International, on the technological capacity of building for makerspaces, focusing on 3D printing. So out of all of the packages, this will be the only one that will be in-person training, and this will be provided by international experts. So ideally there'll be like small numbers of participants, and the package is aimed for really training the trainers, for example, like the managers in the makerspaces, so they can then go on to share their knowledge. So for this package, again, it's $2,000 that's offered. However, there's only 3 spaces available. Are there any questions at this point? I feel like I'm kind of whizzing through. Please shout out if there is.
We'll come back to this device. So in total, across those 5 packages, we have $10,000, a maximum of $10,000 for each makerspace that's participated in the Innovative Manufacturing in Africa project. And you can apply for all of them, or you can apply for some of them. And the idea is that basically you figure out what it is that you need best. And if you need help on all of these fronts, I know for many of you, for example, on that previous capacity building package 5, many of you have taught yourselves 3D printing, and you have, really done an incredible job doing that. But maybe what you're looking for is to reach the next level, so the quality of the products that you're making is higher, and that you can, generate more revenue by having higher quality products coming out of your 3D printers that are higher value, so that this is an opportunity for someone to come to your space and help you figure out how to improve the quality of your product. On the market dialogues one, a lot of makerspace managers are spending all of their time trying to keep the makerspace going and hoping that people are coming to them. But maybe, with that particular package, there's a couple of $1,000s that we're going to be sending your way, so that you can use that time, you can buy that time to go out and conduct market research, to do a market dialogue. So to go and visit hospitals and clinics and schools and, military bases or government agencies, regulators, whoever it might, certification bodies, whoever it might be, that you think you really want to engage in, now's your chance, and we can give you some funding to do that. So you can apply for all of them, but remember, you have to have time to participate in each of them. So yeah, we'll be sending some money your way depending on which packages you apply for and which ones you're selected for. But yeah, you really have to commit to making sure that you can make the most of each of these and that you can take part in the tasks. Now, this project is starting a little bit late this year, so a lot of them are happening at the same time. A lot of these packages will be delivered at the same time between August and end of October.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a busy few months, but so really think about what you want to make the most of. And the other thing is, it isn't just for the makerspace managers that could apply. So I know at DTI, for example, in Ghana, you're part of an institute, and maybe you, Michael, aren't the one doing fundraising bids, or maybe you aren't the one that is particularly involved in the gender equity, social inclusion side of things. Maybe there are other colleagues in your institute that are responsible for those things. So go and talk to them and see and nominate them to be the ones to participate in those packages. So it doesn't always have to be the makerspace manager. The only one that we think is really important for the makerspace manager to be involved in is the 3D printing manufacturing training side of things. But it could be anyone in your organization, in your makerspace, the kind of people in your organization that would help you to build that capacity to help you make sure that you are able to achieve, more financial sustainability. It's about having them involved in these packages. You've got to have the right person involved in the group. And maybe that way, even though it's on a compressed timetable here, maybe there's some packages you attend, some packages your colleagues attend, and that way, you have more time to get everything done in these packages. Any questions on that? Everybody's happy. Okay. Do you want to talk about the application form?
Yeah, sure. So I'll move over to the application form and the process for this. So for each of the packages, there's one application form, which kind of breaks down into different questions to kind of help understand your needs. So for example, every capacity package, there'll be two main questions. So number one will be what needs improving, and then also what you want to achieve from the package. So yeah, it's just one form. There's a few kind of general details that we'll need to understand, like what is the name of your makerspace, where is it located, etc. And then it will go down into the different detail of each capacity building package. And I will actually, my colleague will shortly put these links into the chat so it's accessible for you all. And then moving on to the AfriLabs and AMN gathering in Cape Town. So for AfriLabs gathering, it's from the 6th till the 8th of November, and for the African Makerspace Network gathering, that will be held between the 12th and the 13th of November. Again, for these kind of gatherings, events, there's a limited number of spaces available, and flights, accommodation, visas, substance, tickets will all be covered by the project. However, in order to be eligible to attend, there are certain requirements that you will need to commit to. Further details are in the application forms. And again, these links will be shared with you. And then the last package that we're offering is around fundraising support. So there might be a fundraising opportunity you want to apply to. So we have fundraisers who can help to support you. We've got grant writing support, corporate sponsorship support. So the aim of this is kind of putting collations together and almost project designing. Again, it says here we won't do all the work, but we can absolutely help a lot with supporting you on this. And for this particular package, there's no online application form needed. Just contact us directly and as soon as possible. And I'll put, you can contact myself. I can pop my details in the chat. And again, this service will only be available until the 20th of December, as it will near to the project closure. So moving on to timelines and kind of application form links. So I can share this slide with everyone after the call also. So there's links to each of the application forms. So again, the package the packages for the capacity building. So there's one form for that, and there's a separate form for the Cape Town gatherings. And anything around the fundraising, if you reach out to me directly, that would be fantastic. And then it's really important to really think about and carefully discuss each of these with your colleagues and find the right people, as Andrew mentioned earlier, for these packages, so you can really commit to them. And if you're applying to all of the packages, it's vital that you have the time to, again, really commit to these. And then in terms of timing, they will be running kind of together, so it'll be bespoke depending on applications. However, between August and October, that will be the kind of timing for the packages to be delivered and take place. And the kind of end date for applications will be Monday, the 29th of July. So I know that's only 2 days, but it'll be great if you can kind of have a think with your teams around kind of which ones are most applicable to you, which ones you're interested in, and which will have the biggest impact for you all, and then apply to these by the end of Monday. And then we can start the selection process pretty quickly after. In terms of community calls, I've kind of scheduled it for the middle of each month where we could. So there'll be 4 calls until the end of the project. So on the 14th of August, the 11th of September, 9th of October, and the 27th of November. These calls I've allowed for 90 minutes. We may not need the whole full 90 minutes, but it's good to kind of block out that time in everyone's diaries. So we can kind of ask questions and discuss and yeah, just kind of connect, I guess. So the format and for these meetings will be, it's an opportunity to connect with like the cohort and your peers and the project teams and experts. There'll be an informal structure with each makerspace providing a brief update on each call with any progress that they've made. And it's an opportunity to ask questions and also make requests as and when needed. Okay, moving on to your main points of contact. As Andrew kind of introduced me, I'm the project manager, so I'll be kind of leading on all the project coordination and management for the project. So feel free to reach out to me. Becca will be she's our learning and communications coordinator. So Becca will be documenting all the project activities. And then we have Joseph from from the African Makerspace network. And again, anything regarding kind of the Cape Town gatherings or ecosystem building, Joseph will be your main point of contact. And again, Andrew as the project lead and also leading on the fundraising and training will be a main contact. So please feel free to reach out to us at any time. And I believe that moves us on to any questions. Does anyone have any questions around maybe the capacity building packages or the events or anything that we've kind of gone through? Hi, Anna.
Hi there. It's not a question from me, but rather a suggestion that, of course, we can answer questions now, but also if over the next couple of days, as people are discussing things with their teams about figuring out who's going to be the best person, you know, for different capacity building packages, and that you may have questions that come up then about the capacity building packages, I would, you know, suggest that we give people a way to do that. Perhaps we ask people to email questions to you, Benita, and you can forward them on to the right person for each package or something like that, just so we've got a way to deal with those.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, feel free to contact me with any kind of questions or queries you have, and I'll direct them to the right people and get them answered for you as soon as possible. It's great. I think Nelson has a question.
Thank you, Benita. Just a quick reaction, and then I'll ask my two questions. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, to everyone involved in the planning. I can tell that there's been a lot, obviously, of reflections from the old or the first version, but also a lot of feedback that was provided, you know, has been, yeah, I guess, factored into this new program. I think what I particularly like is the fact that we are strengthening, but also, you know, supporting the work that is already happening in the maker spaces, you know, which is really, really commendable. We can definitely do, you know, with the support, you know, something that I am looking forward to, you know, quite a lot. Of course, we will apply for the many things that you have shared, but something that I'm looking forward to is really the fundraising part of things, you know, like we as maker spaces, you know, sustainability is a big thing for us. You know, we are always looking at different ways, you know, to raise the funding. So this is the kind of support that will definitely go a long way in the work that we are doing, and we'll be making ourselves available for those workshops. And for my question regarding the fundraising support, are you able to maybe just give more details regarding the kind of support that you're going to be offering? I mean, I understand you're not going to be doing the applications for us, but what kind of support are we talking about? But also, I mean, look, we are fundraising every single day, right? This is the work that we are doing every single day. You know, there's either this project or that project that we are chasing. There are grants that we are applying for. How much capacity do you have? You know, how much time will you be able to allocate to different maker spaces for this kind of work?
That's a really good question. What we have is, thanks to your suggestion, Nelson, in the discussions we were having when we were designing this project, what we have is a budget for freelance fundraising consultants. And I have 3 or 4 fundraising consultants that I've worked with over the years, people that I know and trust, including a couple who are very well connected to the makerspace community and very well connected in working in Africa. And basically with that one, whilst all the packages are August to October, and they're more organized, the fundraising, you know, this number 7, I think, in your list, the fundraising support is on an ad hoc basis. So if there's a bid that you're applying for that you think you need an extra pair of hands with, please let us know and we'll see about the availability of these freelance fundraisers. We would pay for their time. So it's not a payment to you to then help you write the bid. The rest of the capacity building packages are payments to you, but it's a payment to the fundraisers to work for you. And it might be something that other makerspaces, if it's a big enough opportunity, it might make sense for other makerspaces or perhaps the African Makerspace Network or other partners to be brought into the project. So, for example, one of the things I'm looking at the moment is any European funding. And if a European grant is for 2 million over 2 years to work on links between Germany and South Africa, that's exactly the kind of thing where we could bring together a coalition of organizations to apply for it. But if what you have is a trust fund in Johannesburg that has a deadline next week and you don't have time to apply, we'll see if we can find some resource to allocate to it, but I'm not promising because, it might be happening next week. And of course, we'll see if we can, meet any requests. So this offer will be until the 20th of December, which is basically our project ends in December. And we're going to be, unlike the capacity building packages, we're going to be measuring this more on the input side. We will be giving you support and we'll be sort of reporting against the support we've given you. We aren't necessarily going to be able to report on the outcome of these funding bids to RISA because it'll be after the project finishes. But of course, we'll be letting the RISA team know on a case-by-case basis. So this is more about sort of making sure that we find ways to increase the income. So yeah, just as Benita said, get in touch with us. If you have an idea, if there's something you want to apply for, get in touch with us. We'll look at it and we'll make a decision as to whether we can and how much time we can allocate, and we can begin to design projects together. Does that answer your question, Nelson?
Yes, it does.
Do you want to ask a specific? Do you have a particular funding bid you're wanting to apply to? Just to get some ideas flowing.
Yeah, no, look, we are always fundraising. So it's something that we are actually currently fundraising for now. So we have consolidated 4 spaces, as I mentioned earlier in the introduction. So it is the space that we've been running since 2018, the one that we recently occupied, but also there's 2 more where we are, together going out looking for funding. So this is, teams from TMG Makerspace. We've got a representative from an organization called Innovation Hub, which is owned by government. Another organization called Constitution Hill, also owned by government, but also the city of Johannesburg is a partner, with us in the program. So we go out looking for funding. We've been meeting a few of potential partners, and we're exploring those partnerships. They haven't committed yet, but we are talking to as many people as possible about the program.
Great. So one of the things you might benefit from in that scenario is you could draft a concept note and we could allocate a fundraiser to it to sort of make your fundraising, your concept note, to proofread it, to check it, to see if there's anything else that could be added to it that would make it really exciting to the particular donors you're talking to, so that you have someone that you can bounce some ideas off. Now, whether you do that in the mentoring program, if you apply to the fundraising and tendering capacity building package, or whether you request additional support that's private and just for you for that particular opportunity, it's up to you. I would ask for both if I were you. I would apply for the fundraising and tendering package and say, we've got this opportunity, can you help us out? We don't have unlimited resource. So if every makerspace says we have 10 funding opportunities each that we want to apply to, that's a lot of fundraising that would need lots of capacity that would be needed to apply for all of those bids. So we're going to take a view, but if the ones that I'm going to be most excited about are the ones which have enough time for us to apply, which are big enough for it to make a substantial difference to your makerspace, and which are something about strengthening what you're already doing rather than necessarily starting a whole new makerspace in another part of the country, for example. It's more about the sustainability and the financial stability of your own space. I know we're doing questions, but I've seen Derek has just joined from the IOMI Makerspace. Derek, oh yeah, Anna, look, and before we ask Derek to introduce himself, maybe we can go to Anna. Yeah.
Thanks very much. I just wanted to jump in and build on what Andrew was just saying, and make the suggestion that in terms of funding bids, you can also think about how they might link to some of the other capacity building packages. So, you know, you might be able to, for example, hold a market dialogue, and then based on the outcome of that, develop funding bids that would help you to, you know, engage with the actors and in the ecosystem that you've just been talking to in the right way. So, you know, help you, like maybe the market dialogue helps you to identify a gap that you want to address, and then you could go for funding bids that would help you strengthen the particular things that you would need to do to address those gaps. So do also think about cross linkages between the packages. Thank you.
And the same with Kiara's capacity building package on gender equity and social inclusion. Maybe there are things that you want to try and do in your team or in your space to improve gender equity and social inclusion. Maybe it's a fund that needs to be set up to support people from rural areas to travel to the makerspace or something like that. And, you know, if we can find the right opportunity to apply to, maybe we can help with fundraising for that. Yeah. Thanks. Great. Derek, and good to see you again. I know you weren't with us at the beginning of the call, but what we did was introductions and any wins, any successes or failures you'd like to share with us from the last time we spoke in December. So could you introduce yourself, IOMI, and anything you want to share with us? I know you were opening a new place in Mombasa, I seem to remember, but yeah, let's hear about you and hear about Lamu.
Thank you so much, Andrew. It's good to see you again. It's good to see everyone on the call. I apologize I joined late. I had a conflicting engagement I couldn't run away from, but I'm glad I'm here. I'll try to catch up with the video. Then in case of any follow-ups, I'll do that in the email. My name is Derek Mugasia. I work with the Kenya Red Cross Society as the coordinator for IOMI 254. IOMI 254 is now becoming a network of Fab Labs. So we have the initial Fab Lab is called IOMI 005. 005 is the county code. So it's in Lamu County. And then, as Andrew is saying, towards the end of the IMA project last year, we set up another Fab Lab in Mombasa. That's where I'm seated today. It's still construction work, but the Fab Lab is operational. So it's more of an innovation center than just a Fab Lab, because it's also taking care of incubation and entrepreneurship kind of programs to support the youth. So I think that's all I'll say for now. I look forward to engagements moving forward and being part of this second cohort of this program. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Derek. Good to see you again. Congratulations on your work in opening up a new space in Mombasa as well as in Lamu. And yeah, we'll share the call recording and the slides after this call. I don't know if you can see the links in the chat. Maybe we can share those again so that we can make sure that everyone has the link to the application forms. And honestly, everyone, because of the compressed timetable, we're saying, is it Monday?
Yeah.
For the application. It's a very simple form. There's 2 questions per capacity building package to apply for. There's another form for the Cape Town events if you'd like to participate to apply to participate in the Cape Town events. And I'm sorry, we've only got till the end of Monday. And by the end of Monday, I mean whatever time you decide to go to bed. Like, we're going to be making decisions on Tuesday. So yeah, you're already all eligible. So we don't need a lot of information. We just need to understand a little bit about what you want to get out of it. There's a question from Michael from DTI.
Yes, thanks, Andy. And so I wanted to be sure the gender equity and social inclusion package. It says that would be held in person. Like which venue would that be? And yeah, I'm specifically asking because of accessibility. I wanted to know if it would be accessible to my team in here.
We're losing you a bit, Michael. There, it's quite quiet, but I think your question is about the gender equity social inclusion package and how that will be run. That will all be remote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in that particular package, do you want to run through what the design of
sure.
that Kiara's put together?
Yeah, sure. So Kiara's planning individual sessions with each group, and she plans 2 sessions in August and 2 in September. Between the end of August and the beginning of September, there will need to be kind of a task or homework, if you like, to be completed. So for the first 2 sessions in August, they'll happen over the weekend or on a Friday afternoon. But again, in the application form, that's kind of mentioned to see if you can commit to it.
So it's a little bit like, it's like a little bit like a sort of academic course. You learn a bit, you put it into practice, and then you evaluate what you've done. But there's a 2-week sort of period, which will be the key time between the end of August and the beginning of September, when you need to go and use some of the money we're paying you to potentially to spend some time and do some research into the thing that you want to try and improve around gender equity and social inclusion. But the rest of it will be delivered online, and yeah, with Kiara's availability, because she's got a very busy timetable, but she's just a fantastic candidate for delivering this training. With her availability, that one will involve some participation at weekends or on Friday afternoons and weekends. So you've got to make sure that whoever's, if it's you or somebody on your team at DTI, anybody else here, whoever's participating in that package is willing to work potentially on a Saturday as well as a Friday afternoon. Yeah. Any other questions? Well, let's take a moment. This wasn't in something we planned, but let's take a moment quickly to tell you what else is going on in the project. One of the things we're doing in the project is investing in the African Makerspace Network, and Joseph we have on the call here. And the African Makerspace Network is going to have some capacity building work of its own during this project, with the idea that we're building up to a gathering in Cape Town that you heard about in the presentation. Some of you are already involved in the African Makerspace Network. If not, I'll ask Joseph to share an invite link to their WhatsApp group in the IMA Awards WhatsApp chat after the meeting, so you can keep an eye on that. Is there anything else we need to say today?
I don't think so. Just a reminder that, again, Monday is the kind of closure, end of Monday, to get these applications in. But apart from that, I don't think there's anything else.
And if you do have any problems with the online form, please, you've got Benita's email address in the chat, and in the calendar invitation, please get in touch, or use the WhatsApp group. Great. Now, I know a few people have left, but one of the things we like to try and do occasionally on these calls is do a group photo. So maybe everyone can turn their cameras on, and we'll try and we'll do a screenshot of everybody together. There's Martin. Thanks for your kind words, Martin, at the start of the call about the effect of the project last year, helping you secure the money, the contract from the Kenyan government. That's great. I'm going to try and hide some of these AIs. So, because I don't want the screen to be full of hide Hide non-video participants. There we go. Hey, Sam. Christine, thanks for joining again, helping us with all the money stuff on distributed manufacturing side. Anyone else switching their video on? We're going to do the screenshot. Where's the key? There it is. 3, 2, 1, smile. Great. I think we've got it. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time. And we'll send the recording, the slides, and the links after this.
Amazing.
Thanks,
Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate your time today. And make sure you apply.
Yeah. Good luck applying. You've got till Monday. Bye.
Great to see you all again. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.